So sometimes when there's been a lot of busyness in the field, there's kind of some spinning happening. And when we settle in stillness, it's like a jar of water that just, there's some movement in there, and it takes some time for everything to just settle. So we can let ourselves register the stillness of the ground beneath us and connect to the good earth, which has been providing for us all week with all these wonderful foods that we have available to us. We can connect to her through the stillness that she transmits into our bodies. We're not forcing that stillness, we're just letting ourselves feel into the stillness that's already here. And letting different parts of our body slowly receive that message. So sometimes certain parts of the body land, and others are still perhaps spinning a little bit. But what's interesting and what's wonderful about our body is that everything is connected. And when the parts of us that are coming into stillness really are given the opportunity to be met and to enjoy the stillness, the other parts kind of get interested in that enjoyment, in that sense of relaxation, and they learn in that way. It's like when you're watching somebody really take care of themselves through food, and at first there might be some resistance, but something draws you into the aliveness of that. And it's like that for the different parts of our body. The mind is usually the last part of the body to really agree to the stillness, and that's okay. The good thing is we've got so many other reference points in our body that we can relate to and connect to. So feel the stillness in your bum, in your legs, in your arms, your hands. And there's something really beautiful about the contrast of the movement of the breath in the stillness of the body. But perhaps you can allow yourself to notice that contrast. And then there's these moments at the top of the breath, at the bottom of the breath, where there is stillness. There's that brief pause where there's a kind of a joining of the two movements, you could say, or the two states of being in that still, quiet, potent space. And notice how your breath is today. As always, without manipulating it. And just notice that life to the breath, how each breath, of course, is an inhale and an exhale. But within those breath cycles, there are subtle changes, and sometimes not so subtle changes. A big yawn can come in, or a sigh, or a part of the breath opens up or it speeds up. There's just life to it. There's an intelligence to it. It's just moving all on its own. And particularly when we kind of step back and settle like this, we unleash the intelligence of the breath to find its way. And we get to renew our trust, not only in the breath, but in the body itself to find its way. We are just supporters of this great intelligence that is our body. And we certainly have done a lot of supporting this week. What a blessing. So the breath will lead you into more of a tangible sensory experience. You're going to begin to feel more and more of your body. So allow that to come online. So perhaps as you kind of stay in the realm of the breath, there's this feeling in the shoulders or in the neck or in the fingertips. Something just joins in, different sensations, different impressions add themselves to the tapestry of this moment. And the thread colors are all of the parts of our being. So our connection with the earth, that was kind of the foundation, the initial color thread that we used. And then the breath comes in and it adds its piece. And then the body comes in and it adds its rhythm and its sensations and its impressions. We'll just stay here for a little bit to give those parts of the body time to come forward, to be acknowledged. Some parts of the body are a little shyer, more reluctant to come forward. And so if we just stay here in a space of total openness, we're not judging or evaluating, because anytime anyone is feeling judged or evaluated, the likelihood is that they're going to stay more closed, more hidden, more protected. And so like that with our body, it's just this real sense of welcoming for whatever might arise. And then all of those parts which have felt it necessary to hide up until now can slowly make their way forward to be welcomed into this tapestry that is our being, so that they contribute to the beauty of that tapestry. And you'll probably notice that your awareness will first bring forth the grosser sensations. Just like, I suppose, if you're doing a tapestry, you might need to do the larger details and then fill it in with the smaller details after. So what you might be noticing is that, yes, you are noticing kind of grosser sensations of touch, or maybe a sense of tension that's quite obvious somewhere. But once we're in, the system naturally brings us into subtler and subtler sensations. And those sensations may feel energetic, like I'm feeling quite a bit of buzzing and sort of flow in my arms, my legs, my face. But they could also be emotional in nature. And emotion is, of course, an energy as well, but it tends to be a little bit denser. And it also tends to be something that is nameable. That might be joy, excitement, impatience. And then let's add the mind as a next thread that we're going to add into the tapestry. Just noticing the state of your mind. Does it feel fairly quiet? Does it feel active? Does it feel calm? Is it jumping ahead? Is it jumping into the past? And we, again, just notice this, recognizing, the various moods of our mind and the various grooves it gets into without putting too much weight on any of it. You can take it all very lightly. It's only one small thread color of the tapestry. We can also bring in the senses as we bring in more detail. So perhaps you're hearing things in your home, outside your window. Perhaps there are smells, taste in your mouth. If your eyes are closed, maybe there's color behind your eyelids. If they're open, you're seeing whatever you're seeing on the screen and in the periphery in the room. And so there's this kind of global awareness that is being pointed to here that includes everything. And lets it all contribute to this very moment. Less and less energy is being spent pushing parts of our experience away. Although we can certainly guide our attention towards certain things. So, for example, if there is noise going on in your house, you can just guide your attention towards my voice or towards your own breath or the sound of your breath. And in the midst of all of these details that have been presenting themselves and forming and creating this tapestry of now, there's also something here that is beyond the tapestry, or it's the space in which it exists. And we can only really come into deeper contact with that when we cease manipulating, micromanaging the details of our experience. And so as you just allow everything to be here as it is in this very moment, notice that flavor of just simple presence, openness, availability.